think about what you're saying. And I want to tell you today, the one main thing that changed everything for me, I heard this saying, I want to say I heard about it back when I was in high school, and it made such a difference in my life. It changed everything about the way that I thought about what people would think about that, about having that complex of caring about what people thought about things that I did. And I know you might be thinking, that's such a long time ago. You were young. Why would this still apply? And it does. It was so life-changing for me. It is something that I have carried with me my entire life. And I really wish that I could find out where I heard it, because I would love to credit the person. So I want to be very honest. I did not come up with this saying, but it was so impactful for me. And it has always been something that I have used. I have passed it on to many other friends and family. I've passed it on to a lot of clients that I worked with, and it's life changing. So I want to give that to you today. The one thing that I heard that changed the way I thought, so I could stop thinking about what people thought about me. I could stop worrying about that. So I could just be direct when I needed to. And it was, you wouldn't think so much about what people thought about you if you knew how little they did. You would not think so much about what people thought about you if you knew how little they did. And once again, I did not come up with that phrase saying, I didn't come up with that. But just take it in for a second and consider, how many times have you been in a conversation and you've always thought afterward, when you got home or you were away from them, and you thought, oh, I wonder what they thought about the way I overshared, or I said that too directly, or maybe I came off rude, or I should have said it this way or that way. That's that caring about what people think. And it's this little nagging voice that you might have, and it's so obnoxious, and it's holding you back. And the funny thing is, that person probably doesn't even care. They probably have moved on. They have moved on. They're thinking about their lunch. They're thinking about what they're going to do after work. They don't care about what you said. And for me, that's why that saying was so meaningful, because it just changed everything for me, my perspective, that most people don't care. They don't give about what you just said. They don't care. They're not thinking about you anymore, because most people are thinking about themselves because you're thinking about yourself. That thought you just had about thinking about, oh, what do they think about what I said? What do they think about what I had on? That's you thinking about yourself, and they're thinking about themselves. See how that works? They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about what they're going on to, the next thing. And this is not to needle into you that you're wrong for being considerate and wondering. It's just to bring it to light that you can let it go. You could pick that thought and decide to let it go, because most of the time people are not thinking about what you just said. They have moved on from it. So once you can separate yourself from that, and you have that in play in your mind, you can start to use that as an interruption in your thoughts, because you're no longer considering that extra chatter that you're having, that extra conversation in your mind of, oh, what do they think? Maybe they were thinking this and this. No, you can stop now, because you can think, well, they're probably not thinking about me. And I know I said that really, really quickly. I said that as if it was very easy. It definitely takes practice, definitely takes time to reuse that thought over and over, that they're probably not thinking about you. They've probably moved on, so you can stop thinking about what they think about you. And it starts to get so, you will become so good at it that you won't even start to think about what they thought about what you said or did, because you just will know that they're not thinking about you in that way. So let's get a little bit more into detail about this, about you caring about what people think. Definitely, I'm glad I gave you that phrase, that saying there about not thinking about what they think about you. But I want you to also go into managing the thoughts by considering you can't control what people think about you. either. You really can't control it. You might never know what they think. You might never know what they think about you. They might never even say it out loud, and they might never act on it either. So that's another part of that. So considering in that thought that you can't control what people think, so on your own there, if you want to discover what it is about, what makes you want to control it? What is it about that conversation? What is it about that you want to control what they think about you, that you are caring about what they think? Where does that need for control in that dynamic, in that conversation, or with that specific person? So it could be, a certain person that you're talking to that you have that need for control. And that's its own little thing when it comes to caring about what people think. So you want to get into that. Why do you think? What is it that you think about that? And what you think what they think does not make a difference, though. So if they're thinking it, nothing happens, there's no action to it. Does it really make a difference? Is it kind of like that phrase or that philosophical idea of, if that tree falls in the forest, does it even make a difference if you're not there to see it? And it really doesn't make a difference, does it? Does it really make a difference if you don't know what they're thinking? Is it hurting you? Are you giving meaning to something that doesn't exist there? So you want to go into that of, what is the need for control? What they think doesn't really make a difference. If it's not making a difference, then it doesn't make a difference. You're the one that decides to put the value on it. This is all yours. You get to decide what the value is there. And if you are in play of managing your thoughts, if you are new to the channel, if you're here for a while, we are continuing to talk about this all the time. We are on this journey. You're here with me, and I'm teaching you how to manage your thoughts, because this is the core of it all. When you're in process of managing your thoughts and you're able to identify and pick out main thoughts. So for sure, for this topic of you caring about what people think about you, pick out the main 2 thoughts and decide where they're coming from. What is making you think? Where are those thoughts coming from that you're having? So I say that kind of vaguely because for you and for every woman, it could be very different. You could be very concerned about what they think about your tone, your choice of words. If, for instance, you are in a position of leadership at your job and you're having to speak to your team and you're having to convey a message of you're needing something to get done by a certain deadline, or even if you're just at a meeting with your coworkers and you're trying to tell them about a new project, you're trying to tell them about something that you learned, and you're bringing that to the team, you're caring about what they think after the meeting. Pick those 2 main thoughts and decide where they're coming from. So if you're doing that with me now, decide where they're coming from. And if you're managing your thoughts and you're seeing that now, you're hearing that voice, you're hearing that talk in your head, you're hearing something saying, where is it coming from? When you've decided which one is the more important thought, decide what you want to do with it. Do you want to reword it? Do you want to get rid of it? Is there more to explore there of where it's coming from? So decide that if you want to get rid of it. If it's not really helping, I would suggest getting rid of it. Because if we go right back to the beginning of our conversation, they probably aren't thinking that much about you. So you can get rid of the thought of being concerned about what they think about you. This is your action part of this conversation. So you're doing your thoughts, you're managing that thought, you're looking into it, but you're also doing something about it. Start to give yourself the grace, the break to be present after the conversation and let it go and have that breath. Sometimes it is helpful to do kind of an exhale thing if you're going through it and you know that you've decided to relax on that thought and let it go. Doing that good breathe out there and letting it go. It's a physical response with your body to just feel that air leaving. So you're doing something about it. It's not just the thought of going, oh, we're just floating through mind here. We're letting things go. Do something physical with it. Why not? And going back to the beginning of this, you care what people think. You care. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's okay to care what people think. It's nice to be considerate. And is it always so necessary in certain situations? Especially when you need to be direct, especially when you need to be assertive, because you are in the moment, you are aware something has tickled your senses, that something is not right. There is no time. It has now become necessary for you to not think about what the other person thinks. It has now become necessary for you to act on your assertive thought, on your assertive instinct, and go forward with what you need to say and what you need to do. If you take anything else from this, stick with that last little part there and tune in and do what you need to do when you need to do it, because there is no time for hesitation. Be direct, say it, get in, get out, and get on with what you need to do. Thank you for listening in today. So glad to do this with you. Keep clicking on to the next video here. This is a podcast, so I'm switching it up. We're doing podcasts, we're doing visuals, we're having fun, we're learning. Click on the next video. There's a whole series of being assertive. You can use this wherever. Eventually, I'm going to get to talking about assertive in your relationship as well. So click on that, go through those. Click subscribe if you're new. Welcome. My name is Andrea Palmer. I have been a coach for over 10 years. It is fantastic. I love it. I love helping people change their mind, change their mindset, manage your thoughts, all that good stuff, and share, and have a good conversation about it. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. Take care.